Hey Alice, welcome back. Welcome to the new year. This is the first one we've recorded in 2025. I have some very special guests this evening. We have Travis and Maddie from Catchfire Infamy. Um, if you don't know, you should ask somebody. They're pretty awesome. I've seen y'all play a couple of times now. I guess
Thanks,
three
man.
times. I saw y'all Strawberry Basement the first time. Then I saw y'all at Vinyl Lounge, and then
Oh,
most
Nice.
recently at the Underdog.
Awesome.
oh,
Yeah,
Wow, I
cool.
didn't know you were at the Vinyl Lounge. That's cool.
yeah,
That was a
that
while
was a good
ago.
show with
Year before.
yeah, that was the first
Yeah.
time I saw that lineup of Moonlight Drowns.
Oh,
Mm.
East Side Bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're
You're
right.
good.
My bad. My bad. You're right. That
Yeah,
was
that
East
one
Side
was
Bowl.
great. Yeah, that one's fun too.
Yeah, it was a
Sweet.
good show.
Yeah.
So y'all got
Awesome.
some shows coming up in February. I just wrote it down, but I already forgot the dates on that. So if you help me out.
We've got February 6th at the Five Spot, February 28th at Strawberry Basement, and March 28th will be at the Vinyl Lounge, is the plan. Still nailing that one down. And then we got some other ones in the works. So
Right on.
yeah.
And then you have another project that you're
I
starting.
do. I have another project aside from Catchfire. It's just my name, Maddie Ferry. I have a band. We're playing at the Five Spot as well, February 22nd. Come out, it'd be fun.
Right on. Is that the first show you'll have done?
Third.
Okay. Okay.
So still in the beginning stages. Don't know if it should be just Maddie Ferry, the band Maddie Ferry the band. So we're figuring it out. See,
Yeah.
only third gig in. Still don't even really know what the name of my band is gonna be, but it's fine.
That's always the hardest part. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
So if you like Y2K pop rock music, it's for you.
Y2K. That's awesome. And then sticking it to the man. That song is coming out TBA on release date,
Yeah.
but later this year.
Very soon.
End of
Yeah.
February-ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
If you want to
believe.
stick it to the man,
Speaking of sticking it to the man, what do y'all think about the United Healthcare thing?
I don't even know. So many mixed reviews. First off, violence.
You make it sound like a Google review. Like this restaurant's got mixed reviews.
Violence is never the answer, but or guns. Guns are never the answer. But like, I like also have some sympathy for the kid, like knowing the story and like the wasn't it like his mom was just like really sick and she was denied, like or she wasn't denied or she what was the
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
I heard that like and listen, can we really ever truly believe what we hear on TikTok? But like what I heard was that like he was seeing his mom suffer because she was sick and like was denied like a treatment or like the treatment couldn't be done in a certain amount of time because of money or something, which was all like and I believed that, but then I also like I thought they had a lot of money and that they were like a wealthy family, but I don't know, but I heard that the mom was sick, had some illness, and like he saw her suffering all the time, and then I guess he just like you know couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's the true story. I never read more into it, but it's sad. Nobody deserves to die, but I can at least sympathize if that was the story a little bit. But poor United Healthcare bad.
Yeah. I mean, I figure the head of United Healthcare didn't make the decision to decline the healthcare. So my thing is like, I'm sure there are better ways to find a solution. But
Yeah.
I guess, the vigilante thing because, healthcare for profit is an issue in itself. So,
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
actually know if CEOs deny claims or not. I don't
Yeah.
actually know how that works.
I'm
What does a
thinking
CEO even do?
they kind of,
Profit.
yeah,
Make
make a
money.
lot of money and run the big picture stuff, I think. But yeah, to me, it just seemed like, you got to go up the ladder to get to that. So I doubt he was like, nope, you're not getting this. But,
No,
Yeah.
like I
don't-
said, there's lots of problems involved anyway.
I
so.
doubt it's like actually connected, but it was seeming not like necessarily like the violence of it, but like, well, I guess that's part of it, but like the chain reaction of that literally the next day on TikTok. I hate the fact that I'm talking about TikTok so much. Like, I swear I'm not obsessed with
It is relevant.
It is relevant. That the next day on TikTok, the CEO, I saw an interview with the CEO of McDonald's talking that he's bringing the freaking snack wrap back. And I loved the McDonald's snack wrap. This was like, the last time I had a snack wrap was when I was in theater camp when I was 8. So 2008, 2009, 2010 was the McDonald's snack wrap, and that shit was so good. And now, and it's been gone for so long, it's been discontinued. And then it's like the day after the CEO, United Healthcare CEO.
Those were all the memes I saw the next day.
It was literally like they got to him. They got to the McDonald's CEO guy. And they said, "You bring back the snack wrap."
See, violence does solve the problem.
Was that the real
If you
motivation?
want the snack wrap, you gotta crack a few eggs.
I guess so.
I will be first in line, but the poor guy did not deserve to die. I'm excited.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have some strong feelings about that, but I didn't bring it up to give my opinions on it. I just more thought it was a funny segue from sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
After that,
yeah.
Speaking of, this will be the year of sticking things to mans.
To mans.
like with glue.
Like
with duct tape.
That's funny.
So what is y'all's songwriting process like? Does it start with music? Does it start with lyrics? How does that?
You're the main songwriter.
I am. Songwriting for me always starts with the melody. I am a melody driven person. I don't know what is in my ears, and whoever in the great beyond, whether that be God or the spirits of music, gave me something with my ears. But I just have a tendency to hear melodies first, and it's usually like the hook. Like I always come up with the hook first. I mean, I guess not always, but a lot of times it's always
like the most important part. It's like I don't know how you do it.
So it's always a chorus that I think of, and then I find the lyrics come afterwards. And I love writing lyrics, and obviously, like, I'm a lyric person too, or I wouldn't be a songwriter. But like, I always the melody first, and then the lyrics kind of like I'll come up with an idea. Sometimes it takes a little longer for the lyrics to come. Like I will literally have a whole song, like 3 minutes and 40 seconds of chords and a melody that has no lyrics. And then I just have to fill the melody with lyrics.
Nice. You actually you got a little ahead of me talking about like God and the universe, because that's actually where I was going with that is where do you think art comes from?
Art?
Yeah, like how do we? Okay, so like the way I see it, there's a couple of different options here. It's like things you take in your environment, like life experience and like other art that you're inspired by, and then there's like channeling, like getting something and like pulling it down. I guess, what do y'all have any thoughts about that?
I think it's a combination. I think
yeah, I think so too.
I've actually been reading a lot of like stuff on Buddhism lately, and it's pretty interesting how they talk about like when you're actually truly present and like in the moment, and you're not thinking about past and future all the time, like it kind of just naturally flows through you. So I feel like, there's some divine intervention.
Yeah.
And it comes through us. And that's kind of part of your purpose,
Yeah.
I feel like
being present.
Yeah. And you have to be like present and, here to do that. And if you're not, if you're stuck in another moment, it's harder to get that inspiration.
That's definitely a big component to not only songwriting, as you mentioned, but like performance art.
Yeah.
Like y'all are clearly present when you perform as well.
Yeah.
You're in the zone.
Yeah.
Which you know, like it's funny because like I had heard about the zone and getting in the zone for a long time until like I had it like explained to me deeper, which is like the zone actually is like a mindset.
Yeah.
And it's like what athletes tap into. It's what like stage musicians tap into, where they're like jazz is very like that, where it's like you're just in the moment. Yeah.
When you're not thinking about anything else, like that's the time that you're actually creating for. Like you said, with athletic things, I did Taekwondo for years, and that was the, you know, when you're in a fight or whatever, it's like you can't really think about anything else because you have to be right there. You know? So,
the ego's gone and you are the action. You are the thing that's happening.
Well,
oddly enough, I kind of feel like I don't think about anything when I'm performing. Like, and I don't even mean like I'm thinking like I'm in the zone. Like, I almost feel like I'm not in the zone. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just like, I'm not thinking about what I'm singing or how I'm singing it or like how I'm moving. Like, I just do it. Like, it almost is like I have no control over what. Like, I mean, I do obviously, but like I don't know. Like, I just like it just happens. Like, and it's just so like a mindless thing that I do that I'm like I don't, because I'm not focusing on like how I'm moving my body or like how I'm singing the song, because I already know how to sing the song. Like, just if that makes any sense. Like, I've sung this so many times.
I think that is the zone.
Is that the zone? Okay, well shit then I guess I'm in the zone.
We're like,
you're definitely in the zone when we're up there.
Because like I'm never really thinking about what's going on next. But I guess that is the zone.
You're just not like not present.
I guess like
you're
I'm just not.
there.
I just like almost like not even acknowledgeable, because I'm like not even thinking about the zone because I'm in it.
It's hard for me to like. I get there in like fleeting moments. You know, it's hard to like stay in that place, and I think it is like an action driven thing. Like you have to be doing something. I'll get there when I'm like, I don't do music, but I write. And like if I'm consciously like sitting down and writing, I think like that helps to tap into that kind of state of mind. Or
totally.
There's all kinds of different ways you could do that, but like running, things like that.
Definitely.
What do y'all think happens after we die? And no one knows, right? Like we're all are just adults are just children that are like acting like they're not children, right? Like we're all just, no matter who you are, like we're all just like trying to figure out what the fuck is even happening. But like, do y'all, does anything make more sense to you than anything else?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not gonna speak for you, but knowing you, like, we're both spiritual people. Like, I definitely believe in a great beyond, and I feel like I have to, because if I didn't, I don't know, I feel like I don't even know. Like, that's just something that, like, well, I mean, like, I believe in God, and I believe in heaven. But like even aside from that, like I believe in spirits and like angels, and like I believe in angel numbers, and that when you see like, you know, 222, like it's an angel like telling you something. So I definitely believe that there's spirits, and that if that's what you believe in, then that's where your soul goes.
Okay.
It's a soul thing.
Okay. So if I'm understanding right, it's kind of like what you believe becomes like your afterlife. Is that?
Yeah, I guess so.
So like if you believe that you're going somewhere bad, that would also be true, right? Or no?
I mean, I guess if I never really thought of it that way.
That's even deeper.
It's just like I mean, like I do believe in heaven, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if this makes sense, but like, is heaven the golden gates and the pearly white clouds, or is it just that like your spirit like flows mindlessly like in the universe?
You're in the
and
zone.
like you're right. But it's like, does your soul just like is a free spirit and it just goes wherever it wants to go in the universe? Like, is it in heaven, or is it like, because you hear like stories of where it's like the owner of a house that they lived in their whole life died in their house, and then their like spirit is in the house and the chandelier shakes or the candles tip over, and it's like, well, if they're in their stone house from 1940, that's not heaven, you know? So it's like, does your soul like really stay in heaven the whole time, or is it just like, just right? I guess a part of it is like, or is your soul, does it go to like where it wants to be, like whether that's in your house or whether that's like the beach that you got married on with your husband, or I don't know, just something like that, and that's like where your soul goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like to touch on what you were saying earlier about it's what you believe. I think it's less so what you want and what you like even subconsciously like know you deserve. So it's if you've done bad things, and like even if you won't consciously admit it, like you know in like your heart that like you don't deserve that might trap you in like a lower vibration, I think.
Ooh.
So maybe not what you want, but like we all get exactly what we deserve, something like that, I think.
Like that.
Yeah. So be good.
That's
be
why
a good person.
heaven, hell, and purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I conceptualize heaven, I don't think so much like pearly gates as something more akin to like nirvana, where it's like it's just to be in the presence of God is to be God. There's just one thing, and the collective consciousness of all souls is God, I think.
Yeah.
Like we're all God and we separate to come here, and then nirvana or heaven is when you just go back to being part of everything. Like we're like drops of water that are separated, but then you like pour them all back into the ocean.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying
saying.
that's pretty much what I've been reading about Buddhism. Is that's what they believe, you know, and I feel like that's a pretty good guess on it, at least, you know. It sounds right to me.
And that's that present mindedness thing where your ego is dissolved and you just are. Yeah.
And I think you have to be really in tune to the universe. I guess a person. I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're an atheist, you don't believe that your soul goes. Well, I mean, I guess you still do. You still can.
Yeah, well, they don't.
You just don't believe in like religion or God or whatever, but I guess you can be spiritual. Can you be spiritual if you're an atheist? Or do you just not believe in any of that?
I mean, I don't even. Okay, so I had like, so I was raised really religiously, and then when I moved out at 18, I had like a really obnoxious, edgy atheist face, where like it was annoyingly atheist. And I read the God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, who's like a famous atheist, and something he talks about is how there is no real atheism. It's a sliding scale of agnosticism, and like basically the lowest level of agnosticism is what we would consider atheism. But like to say that you know that there is no God is just as confident and faith-based and religious as saying that you know that there is a God, right?
You're still believing in something one way or another.
But even the most pious Christian has had doubts and has had struggles with faith, the same way an atheist is going to have doubts and have struggles with faith. So it's always a faith thing, and it's never it's never like 100% like, you know, right? So I don't know, it can you be an atheist and be spiritual? I think because it is like almost a religious argument, I think it is.
I also have to say, annoyingly atheist, like totally sounds like the name of a band.
It has to be a punk band somewhere.
Atheist, like it's definitely like a Christian rock band.
Oh
That's
man,
funny.
that was me too. Like, cause I mean, I know the Bible pretty well because of how I was raised, and I used that to like talk shit to Christians, you know, where it's like, here's this scripture where like, what do you have to say about that? And it's like, you know, that's what I've found is my biggest gripe with a lot of religious people is that they don't read the Bible.
Yeah.
It's like, just if you're gonna like be about this, like know what you're talking about, because then you get someone who's annoyingly atheist who like knows more about it than you. It's like, that's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, know it in and out if you're gonna talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Which, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Like, you can definitely be a Christian and like not even get that deep on it. It's more like just a spirit and a feeling. Like, I don't really, that's more like, that's how I was. It's not how I am now. So, now I think it's more like every option is a thing. I think everything exists, both conceivable and inconceivable, even if it's not in the physical universe. So like the best possible reality exists, and also the worst possible reality exists, both within conception and then magnitudes beyond comprehension. Like almost on like some Lovecraft, like horrors that would just break your mind because you can't even begin to like imagine it, you know. But so that doesn't really give me a lot of comfort. But so I think people, it also can just like cease to exist. I think like an atheist death, and then there's also like heaven and hell in every iteration and version of that, I guess. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying words right now.
I mean, as you should say words.
I think about it a lot though, so it's nice being able to talk to other people about it.
Yeah, it's important stuff.
I'm happy to chat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we got to what you think happens after we die, or was that Nirvana?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we worked it in there.
Kind of like the hive mind.
Yeah, collective. Basically. Yeah, like I feel like that is heaven, or God, or like I mean, like I said, it feels at this moment like being in the zone, basically.
Yeah.
It's that, like, that's, if you do that, then that can continue with your soul or your spirit.
Yeah. So. It's escaping samsara and becoming God, or repeating the reincarnation cycle over and over again. Yeah.
As a jokester and somebody who always liked to make a laugh about something, like I was totally just thinking of like you die, and it's like doom doom doom. It's just like smells like Teen Spirit. Like you die.
You get it?
And it's just Nirvana
forever. Oh, I see what you did there.
Nice. I don't think I'm singing it right. But...
It's Nirvana, but not the one the Buddhists think of.
It's
just
Nirvana
the band.
That's awesome. And then, is that good or is it bad? It's just how you look at it.
Freaking awesome.
I don't think I could hear "Smells Like
How does it go?
Eventually, it's going to be a problem
for the rest of eternity.
Was I singing it right? Like, why can't I not sing it? It's dun 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 dun. You can dun dun.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's how it goes. I don't know. I haven't listened to that song in a really long time.
F, B flat, A flat, D flat. Yeah, that's right.
What kind of music did y'all grow up with? Like, what'd your parents listen to?
Rock.
Rock and roll.
I mean, that wasn't always like what I listened to growing up, but like I grew around rock and roll. I was just actually talking about this at work with my coworker today. Not that you're probably watching, but hi, Julie. We were talking about this at work. Oh god, I mean, there wasn't a time where music was not playing in our house, and it was always rock and roll, like classic rock. I mean, it was always the Police, or Led Zeppelin, the Eagles, the Beatles.
Nice.
All the
classics.
But I didn't listen to a lot of that growing up. When I was younger, I loved Taylor Swift. Like when she was like, when she was Taylor Swift, when she was doing all her country stuff, like I loved her. And One Direction and the Jonas Brothers. And I listened to rock and roll, and like I, listened to whatever my parents listened to, and I enjoyed it, and I knew some of the songs, but I was always like, let's put on Taylor's time. But I grew out of that. She was my inspiration for the start of my career, and then I just weaned off of it. I did go through a country phase in 2016. And then it just slowly turned into like rock and roll, and then I also love early 2000s pop rock.
Nice.
Early 2000s music. That was such a long answer to a really
good
question. I said I'm a rambler.
I just something I've realized interviewing artists is instead of asking people what their inspirations are, because sometimes people will like give answers like, oh, this sounds good, or I think this is my inspiration. But something I've realized is they might not even know. And it usually has a lot to do with like early development, like what their parents played in the car, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which
Sting,
that makes
baby.
But that definitely makes a lot of sense with y'all's music, that like early development, early like classic rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Every family party, get together, dinner, every Sunday, even on a Monday.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
You said the same for you?
Yeah, a lot of blues too, being from Texas.
I fucking love
Stevie
blues.
Ray and ZZ Top, although they don't call themselves blues musicians, but
blues rock.
Essentially. And all the classic rock stuff. There was a point in time where all that my dad listened to was AC/DC and my stuff at the time, and Jack White's band, the Raconteurs. That was like all he listened to. So I heard a lot of that. So yeah, lots of rock and roll. I actually didn't even like music. I was weird about things being too loud until I was like 10, and then my parents were like, well, you're gonna listen to it whether you like it or not. So a lot of Pink Floyd too from my mom.
When did you pick up guitar?
When I was 10.
Okay, yeah.
So, right.
I know you've been playing guitar a long time.
Yeah, right around that, I was like, oh, actually, I absolutely love it. So let's go all out with it. Yeah.
Like, there's no way you're going to tell me you picked up guitar last year.
No. It's been a long time coming.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I get Guitar Hero. I always have to say Guitar Hero 5
Hell yeah.
was my like what sent me over the edge. So yeah.
Nice.
Now I suck at Guitar Hero.
For a second, I listened. Now I suck at guitar.
Now I suck at guitar. No, just Guitar Hero. I hope.
Well, it's gonna be a nice snowy Friday and Saturday. So
we can get some
break
training
in.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get "Here Comes the Sun" on guitar, on Beatles rock band. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
I got hard, but I can't get extreme.
Yeah, it gets crazy when you get up there.
Yeah, I remember Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
that was the days.
Man,
that phase kind of came and went, huh? Like that was a thing for a while.
The Wii was so big, and now they don't even make them anymore.
I still love the Wii.
I got 2 of them, so I'm sure there's a third one somewhere that we.
Just play Smash Bros.
I actually just didn't. I mean, I did because my friend had it, but like I never had that game. I don't know why, but I could never get into it, and I think it's because I sucked. And I just couldn't get into it, and no one ever really explained how to play it, and I just hit all the freaking buttons out.
Well, that's what it's like an arcade
Mario
game. You're
Kart.
Just like
I just love
that's
Mario
all
Kart.
I did. Yeah.
And what was the other one I loved? Well, I think it was just guitar. I loved the Beatles rock band. Oh, American Idol, the Wii game. With the original, it wasn't even a game, it was just karaoke on the Wii.
Yeah.
Co-op. Abdul, Randy Jackson, and Simon Cowell. And that's where I also learned a lot of classic rock songs.
Yeah.
Just like classic songs. That's how I learned the whole lyrics to American Pie.
Oh
They
my
had that
gosh.
one on there, and that's how I memorized the lyrics.
That's a lot of lyrics to learn. Yeah. That takes drilling for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we can thank Simon Cowell for that.
Virtual Simon Cowell.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's awesome. Yeah, Smash Bros is like, I'm not good at a lot of things. That's one of them though.
Hell yeah.
I can play Smash Bros. I have smashed a bro in my time.
Oh
Princess
man. Yeah, that one. I didn't have that one, but my friends did, and I would always play it. And yeah, it'll piss you off big time.
That's like Mario Party. That's
oh my god, love that.
Designed to end friendships. It's like it's the true test.
Yeah.
If you can overcome that, you can get past anything in a friendship.
I think it's so worse on the Wii because you can like hurt each other accidentally. If you're on Xbox, you just yell a bunch, but it's like
I was just saying how it's wild how like we're adults now, like, and we can play the Wii till freaking 4 a.m. if we want to. I was like, we just like started playing the Wii again because we broke it out and out of the attic or something. I mean, I have in the past 2 years before too, just like go through like a Wii phase again. And I was just like, damn, I feel like the last time I played Wii, it's like, I think I was in college and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't because I have homework to do and I have a test tomorrow. And I was like, shit, I can do anything I want now. I live on my own. Like, I don't have a test. I have work, but like I can play till 4 a.m. and take a nap and then go to work.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Sometimes I forget I'm an adult.
Fuck you, Mom. I'm playing Wii till 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember the days of like being younger. My mom was like, only an hour. It's a school night. And I was like, what the hell?
I had
only an hour.
I kind of had the only an hour rule, but it would go longer than that.
It would always go longer than an hour.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Did you guys grow up in religious households?
I grew up Catholic. We went to church. But honest to God, I couldn't tell you a Bible verse. I can tell you prayers, but I couldn't tell you any Bible verses.
I think Catholicism is the coolest of all of the Christianities because they have all the cool stuff. They have like the songs and all the like the pageantry, like all the like, I don't know. It's like the aesthetic, like they've got all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up. My sister and I did church choir. But it was like a banging church choir. Like we were big. It was teen choir, and it wasn't like typical just vocals and piano. It was like vocalists. My sister played flute, and there were flautists, there's piano, there's guitar, saxophone, trumpet, bongos, bassoon. And the songs like we played, like some of them were like traditional, but I call them Jesus jams. Like some of them were freaking awesome, and they were so catchy, and like I honestly really enjoyed it. It wasn't like I don't know how to explain it, but they were just really fun. It was just the way that it was arranged for like all the instruments. It was really fun.
You probably learned a lot about music from that too, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so. I feel like when I really was learning about music was when I did theater when I was really young and learning about like harmonies and I guess I grew up in a really musical family, so I just really learned and knew about music at a super young age. Because I honestly feel like at the point when I was in teen choir, I was like, it's just, I don't know, I was just singing. I'm like, and I'm really, I don't know, like I said, like I'm a real big melody person, and I already knew how to read music. Like I was in bands, and I played saxophone in elementary school all the way up till high school, and then freshman year I switched over to clarinet, and so I just like already knew how to read music and everything. So I don't know, I guess for me I already kind of just like by the time I got to teen choir I'm like it's just fun.
That'd be so fucking sick if y'all bust out a sax for one song or something.
Right? I don't
That'd
know
be so
I've
sick.
had
but
the
I have a
yeah.
clarinet.
We should. Yeah,
Or even
I mean,
even clarinet. That'd be
think
awesome.
about Money by Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
what I
sick.
always think about. Yeah, or Supertramp was. I mean, they're not like rock and
Ding
roll,
dong,
but they're
wait,
like,
boom.
yeah, yeah.
But sorry, I'm like totally
You're
veering
totally
off
fine.
the course. But yeah, I we went to church every weekend because we were and even before I was in teen choir. I mean, we always went Saturday night. We went to the Saturday night mass. And I went to I made my confirmation and I made my communion before that, but we weren't like you know, pray before you eat type family, unless it was like Sunday night dinner with like my whole family and we would say grace, but like we didn't say grace before every meal.
Yeah.
And my Nana was super religious Italian Catholic, so that it's part of why we always said grace before we ate.
I got an
meals
aunt
before
like
her.
that.
Yeah.
Like old school Italian Catholic. She's fucking awesome.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, pretty like went to church a lot, but it was cool. It wasn't
Cool
like boring.
church, man.
Yeah, cool church.
That's cool.
I gotcha. That's what it sounds like anyway. Cool church.
Yeah, I mean, like I like the church choir. Like me and it really fun. Like I love doing teen choir, just singing. I guess like I personally don't feel like I'm a really big religious person. I mean, like even when I was younger, like it wasn't like I don't know, just it's so different from like living here in the Bible Belt land because people like, and this is like, and I'm not saying this in a way that's like boo religion because religion is super great, but like just the difference of like having friends that like go to church and grew up like wanting to go to church and going to like Bible camps and everything. Whereas like growing up, it was always like, come on, guys, we're going to church. And it's like, like it was just kind of like something you did because like growing where I grew up and just like in New York in general, it's like a lot of like Catholic and well Catholic, but it's like a lot of like Italian Catholic or Irish Catholic. I always like would make the joke that like I feel like in my school growing up, your last name was either like Ginginiti or like O'Connor, like really Italian or like really Irish. But like it was just something that like I feel like we did because that's how we were raised and that's how our parents were raised. It wasn't like that we were like invested in the religion itself, as it was just something we were told to do because that's how we were being raised. Again, like I am religious to an extent, and that I do believe in God and I pray, and maybe not every night, but I do pray. But then again, that also is just like I'm a really big spiritual person too. So
yeah, I don't know
back and forth
what I think about it exactly, but I think there is a lot of power to prayer, and I don't know what to make of that at this point, but I think there's a lot of power in that, and like ritual is important, even if it's something as simple as like if you practice gun safety, it's like you treat a gun like it is loaded at all times, and that is a ritual. And it's a ritual that has like a practical benefit because if you treat a gun like it's loaded at all times, then you don't have any like mishaps with it. So I would say like religion has a lot of practical benefits that like translate into like real life consequence. There can be a lot of good to it is what I'm saying.
Right. Real definitely. I mean, if you're religious and hell yeah. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah,
religion.
Brother.
I didn't come across it. I was like, I don't like religion. No, religion's a good thing. If that's something that you choose to be.
It definitely can be. And then people take advantage of it, with like anything, there's good and bad with everything.
But just like in terms of like again, like circling back to the original question of like, were you raised in a religious? Were you brought up religious or whatever it was? Like again, like I mean, it was like we're going to church and you're going to Sunday school so you can become a Catholic adult. But like I feel like a lot of the kids I know, unless like I'm like I'm sure there are obviously some that like really wanted to do it. I just like I didn't even think twice about it because that's just like what I was being told to
Was
do.
it a cultural thing too? Like, are you Italian Catholic? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's okay. So it's like it's more than religion. It's a cultural thing as
Yeah, I
well.
guess so.
Yeah. What about you? Did you grow up with religion?
Yeah, my dad and I would read the Bible and pray every night, and I still pray too and stuff. And we went to church when I was younger, but we kind of didn't. We went to the Methodist church,
Okay.
but we weren't super staunch about the church thing, so we
Yeah.
kind of fell off of that, and it was more,
Love thy neighbor.
yeah, we would pray before meals, and my dad and I would, but so
I got you.
yes, we believed in God, but it wasn't like,
What?
but I played like guitar in a small, like my uncle's like retirement homes church, so I did that kind of thing too, and that was fun. That was the most fun I had at church.
Yeah.
Like I always like doing that. So
What is Methodist doctrine? Is that like do they believe in hell?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't tell
Okay,
you.
yeah,
Time to
I
go
good.
back to church.
No for no. I mean, I was pretty young. Yeah, I think we stopped really going when I was like 6 or 7 or something.
That
But
young, really?
yeah, well, my mom worked a lot in the church, and then everyone knew her, so it was like always she was working instead of just going to church, and we were like, we'd rather just be at home and do this if we're gonna do, so
Yeah. I'll hop off of the religion stuff. I just I grew up like an hour south of here in the Bible Belt, and I was a Jehovah's Witness, and I was also homeschooled. And like I literally didn't know anyone outside of my church. So I don't know. I just like to see like other people's backgrounds, like where they're coming from with stuff. Because I mean there is a lot of good and bad with that. Like what I grew up in, I would consider a cult, but I still think there's a lot of value in that. And I have a lot of appreciation for how I was raised and things I learned from that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That.
Well, yeah, I see you're getting the camaraderie out of something like that, but I figure it could go too far.
It's funny because Jehovah's Witnesses think that they understand it better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because now that I'm not, I'm like, I think I understand it better than them. So it's like I'm more Jehovah's Witness than they are.
Yeah, well, that's funny.
Yeah, that's one cool thing about it though is they study it all the time.
Yeah.
So like I know it better than I ever wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah. Let's see. We already talked about what happens after we die, and I kind of guess where y'all think we came from. I think. I mean, I guess there's something in the universe. I think we all agree about that.
Yeah.
Even if we can't like exactly fine tune it, there is a greater power. I think it's kind of like that makes more sense than there not being one. I think.
Yeah.
But what about aliens?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're all on the same page. There's definitely life out there somewhere, right? That's crazy to say that there's not. Like, oh, we're the only intelligent life in the whole universe.
I literally feel like there has to be another planet.
There has to be
people on it too. Like they may not be like us. Like for all I know, they have 10 eyeballs.
but like, intelligent, yeah.
Oh my god, I could talk about space all day. I love space. Like I love space and the universe so much. I have like multiple books. I mean, not like on aliens, but just like space, like the history of space and time, and just like I love the universe, and just like aside from reading about it, just like thinking about what's out there, like because it is so absolutely mind-blowing that like we literally have absolutely no freaking clue like what the hell is going on out there. Like that is so crazy, and the fact that it's like to be a part of something that is never ending. Like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I get so excited because I love science. But
it's fascinating.
Like we are just like a tiny speck. Like I can't even like fathom what never ending looks like. Like,
Yeah.
and it is never like, and I'm like, maybe it does end and we don't even know it. Like, what could the end of the universe actually look like? Like, maybe it's just like, it's like black sky and it's like stars and galaxies and whatever, and then it's just like white and there's nothing in the whiteness. Like, it's just like, for all we know, that's there and we won't even know it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. But
and then all of that could be like in a single atom contained in a much larger universe.
It's like psycho. Like, it's crazy. So, but it's just like, to literally know such a, like, we think we know things about the universe.
We don't know
but
shit.
We don't know like nearly any of it, really, because it's never ending. We can't go to the all the way to the end of the universe because we don't even know where that is. So I'm like, I honestly feel like there has to be another Earth. Like, we can't be the only Earth.
When you say that, you mean like habitable planet where there's like things similar to us on
like
it.
Mountains and waterfalls and like houses.
Well, especially if it's infinite, then there literally has to be, right? Like, there has to be an infinite number of them.
So wouldn't it be super freaking insane if there was literally an exact replica of this Earth? I mean, not like the exact, but like, because I'm sure there can't be two the exact same planet. But like, imagine if something just like this, like all the way over there with people on it or something similar to humans, that they have their own mind and they talk and they have jobs and they do things, and they're like, I wonder if there's another us out there, and it's us and we're the other them. Maybe we didn't even come first, maybe they came first and we're the ones copying them. We'll never know.
Everyone I've like ever talked to is like, yeah, there has to be life out there. So let me ask you guys this: do you think aliens have ever been here?
Well, it's so tricky. Like, if you're thinking about like the aliens that are like green and ET, like, it's like, well, like, anything's technically an alien that doesn't like originally like habitat here. Habitat? Is that the right word?
Habitate
here. Like, meaning like, if like a species from Mars all of a sudden came here, like, even if they weren't like ET looking, but they were like an animal, like they were
anything
aliens,
extraterrestrial,
because it's alien. Like, well, they're right. So it's like, I mean,
like either in the past or in the present. You think? You think?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure there has.
I mean, with all the Area 51 stories and whatnot, there has to be something. It could be not what what the stories say or what's on Ancient Aliens from, but I'm sure there's something that's been here,
I feel like when you think
I tend to gravitate that way as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if where
do the stories come from? Who created the stories of aliens?
People.
Like, I feel like.
I mean, my mom said that she's seen like UFOs. So
I've heard it, like, dude, I've heard a bunch of stories like that. Like, of people seeing stuff in the skies, like stuff that doesn't make sense. Yeah, especially lately. And I think part of that is because like we have phones, phones with cameras.
Yeah.
But then there's like the Mayflower coming here. They have logs of seeing stuff in the sky and like stuff glowing in the oceans, and it's like,
Don't they still say that we know less about the ocean than space, though?
I've heard that too.
So that's crazy.
I mean, I think they're in the oceans, and
is this like what?
Yeah.
What movie? I mean, Godzilla and stuff. Wasn't that Godzilla? I always forget which ones it does.
But less about the ocean than we do space, because
that's what I've heard.
Ends. The ocean has an end, and it's the Earth's crust.
Usually, when they say that, it's because like we can look there, but we can't look down.
You can only see because there's no light like past this. It's so dense you can't see the light, but in space you can see the light. So I think they have images from like further away than they do of the bottom of parts of the ocean. I think is, I don't know. I haven't researched it.
It seems weird to say to me
It's
too,
weird.
where it's like, oh, we know less about our oceans than outer space. That seems weird to me too. But usually that's what they're trying to say is like,
Yeah.
we can at least like see a little bit, like whereas
Of
like
space,
yeah.
farther in space
You
than
could
we can
theoretically
ocean.
see forever because the light will theoretically travel forever, I guess, but it's not in the ocean. It gets blocked
Oh
eventually.
my god, I feel like I need to go home and like watch like how the universe works on Hulu again. I'm like, oh my god. So good. I just love it. I love stars and universe.
I love nature documentaries and like
Yeah.
space documentaries, stuff like that.
It's sick.
There's one of my favorite quotes. It's by Hunter S. Thompson. He said, "I learned a long time ago that reality is far stranger than anyone's imagination," and it's so true.
Yeah.
Like reality is way weirder than anyone's ever thought about, like ever really like thought it is.
Yeah.
Like we have no idea what the hell is going on at all. We're all just like bumbling around trying to figure it out. Like
Yeah.
kind of like acting like we know what's going on. Like, yeah, I'm moving through this world and I like go to work and like drive a car. And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
I feel that.
what are we doing? It's like doing this weird game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. It's crazy. That like we're just these like chimps that like wear clothes and go to jobs and
Yeah. I know, right?
it's why
It just clicked with me now.
we're just monkeys. We're just monkeys that have like
I got monkey arms.
learned to talk. Do
Oh,
y'all have favorite animals?
Sorry, was I like too? I mean, like, it's just funny when you said we're all monkeys, and like, I'm pretty sure, like, I can't remember what my mom said exactly, but it was like her maiden name, and it literally means, I think, like, of the apes or some shit like that. I can't remember. It's something like that,
Oh
and
my
it's like, I
gosh.
don't know. And I mean, I do kind of have like hairy arms, and they're like skinny and kind of long, and so it's just funny that you said chips. And I mean, I did like monkeys as animals when I was younger, so it makes perfect sense. I'm a monkey.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
being,
a fact.
Yeah, I mean, we are. I believe in evolution, which is also weird too because I'm religious, and I know religious and science don't match.
But
That's another discussion.
They do
like,
though. They totally do. It's just like the people that think that like they do like something created this and created it in such a way that things evolve
and set it in
that's
motion.
fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, it's fine. I'm fine.
That's the simple explanation I've heard, which makes sense too.
Which like fundamentalism, like the Earth is 5,000 years old. That idea has only existed since like the 1500s.
Yeah.
Like for most of history, people didn't take it super literally.
Mm-hmm.
It's only in like fairly recent history that we go like, no, that happened word for word exactly like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like back in the day, if you wanted like to like study, it was funded by the church. Like that's where a lot of sciences, like that's where all the like academic study was done, was in the church.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they like a lot, like the holy men were the ones doing science a lot of the time. Yeah. It's only now that we like do this weird separation thing, but I know what you mean. Like it if you're to look at like religion how it is now, it is designed to look like it's anti-science, and science says it's anti-religion.
Right.
But both of them just don't, they're not communicating.
Yeah.
It reminds me of y'all know the story of the Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where like they're building this tower, and then God divides their languages so they can't build the tower, and that's where you get like different languages from.
Yeah. They're trying to build a tower to heaven.
Yeah. This is like literally what's happening to us right now. Is even in English, we speak different languages.
Yeah.
Like, and like, not even to get into it that deeply, people can't agree on what gender is. And it's like, I mean, I have gender dysphoria. I'm bigender, but it's like most people, or not most people, like half of people say it's biology, half of people say it's how you feel. But these people will never agree with each other.
Yeah.
Because they have different definitions of what a woman is. So, or what a man is, right? So it's like they can never agree because they're speaking different languages. That's like,
that's so true.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't you just let people be people? Like, why does it?
Why is it any of anyone's fucking business, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they'll never agree with each other because they speak different languages, and the words have opposite meanings.
Yeah.
So like literally, we can't ever build anything because we have like we can't communicate.
Yeah.
Our languages are divided.
That's so sad.
Well, the lack of communication.
Why does it have to be that hard? Like, I feel like at the end of the day, like, aren't like the goals that we have as like humankind to just like be healthy, be safe, love one another, like, and even if like just coexist. But like, I just feel like we're not even coexisting. We're just like fighting. And it's like, just coexist. Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck Billy Joe next to you, what he looks like, what he believes in, like what color he is, what color he's not. Like, it's just like, just exist without like the constant nagging and this is wrong and this is wrong. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, let's just exist in a way that we can like be at peace. Like, we're so not at peace, and it's just scary. And it's like, and it's why, because like you feel the need to like speak your opinions about something that has nothing to do with you. It's just like, keep your damn mouth shut, just coexist.
I think it's totally like intentional. Like, this is all being done on purpose to people.
I can't even talk about it because I'm gonna get too fucking angry.
Well, you're in the right place for it. But I mean, I'm a humanist. I think people are good ultimately. Yeah. I believe that people at their core, not everybody, but the majority of people are good. They have good nature.
Yeah.
And I think we're purposefully being made sick, in physically, mentally, spiritually, and at the like highest level of conspiracy, it's either literally or metaphorically, it's demonic. What's happening to people? What's happening to the world? It's aliens, or there's just a lot of profit in it. There's a lot of money,
a lot of
keeping us divided.
People.
And keeping us
scary.
Well, there's
legit scary. Like, I feel like I totally feel that. Like, I've never thought of it that way, but like thinking about it, and it's like, it's a little
well, you know,
in a scary way.
The biggest part of the music that we're doing is our thing is bringing people together. So it's interesting we're talking about this, because that is like the number one goal of what we're trying to do. And
I know, like, for a lot of people, and first of all, that's awesome. That's awesome y'all are doing that, and it's really important. Yeah. Like, I can say, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would not be here without live music. Yeah. Live music saved my life. That's awesome. You never know, like, what kind of impact you're having on people. So that's really awesome that y'all are doing that.
That's always the biggest thought that I have about it, because and I really believe we can do that for the world one of these days with it, you know. So
you're doing it right now. Like, the more reach you have, the better. But like, you're already successful, man. You're already doing
awesome. Thank you.
What you want to do.
That's the dream right there.
Yeah. So that's a big part of what we're about here too, is like bringing everyone together. Like, I'll talk to Broadway cover bands. I'll talk to punk kids in Murfreesboro. Like, we don't have to be cliquey. Like, let's just all be one big happy family. You know.
Exactly.
And also, like, That's not negotiable. We will all be one big happy family.
Yeah.
That's
America,
not up for
we will be all
America.
Yeah,
No.
scary times right now.
And I know like some of the stuff we're talking about is like uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it's important. It's important to like all come together and like have conversations, especially when we disagree.
Yeah.
That's when we most crucially need to have these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
Instead of going, no, fuck you, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's not gonna fix anything.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, maybe, but just wait a minute
before. America, like, is like it's just like a toxic relationship. It's like just communicate, and it's like even if you don't agree, you don't have to agree. I don't have to agree. We all don't have to agree. But I think we all have to understand where we come from. Like, listen, like if I'm trying to think of how to word it, I'm like on day 6 of 7 of my job. And I can't even think I can form words anymore, sentences. But it's like if I didn't agree with something, I support. I guess I don't know. I support like the LGBTQ community. Like I support it all. Like I'm behind it 100%. But in this example, like let's say I was against it. Like I just feel like if somebody were to come to me and be like, but can I at least talk to you about it so you can understand why this community is this way and this is why I'm the way that I am. Like I would at least like sit and be like, okay, like let me try to understand it better. Yeah. I wouldn't just be like, no, fuck you, like I don't like you because you're gay. Like it's like, why do you have to do that? Just like understand it. Yeah. And again, I am all for that. I'm all for that community. Yeah. I'm just using that as an example because I can't think of forming it in any other logical way. But it's like, let's just like understand. Like if you're in a relationship with someone and they feel a certain way, like don't just like you can't. It's toxic to just be like, no, screw you, you're wrong. It's like, well, okay, then explain to me why you feel that way, and maybe I can understand where you're coming from, and we can get on a level where we're like, okay, so this is how you feel, and this is how I feel. I understand it, you understand it, and even if we don't agree, we can understand it and move past it and coexist.
That is a skill that is largely lacking in our society. Like being willing to hear people you don't agree with. A lot of people can't do that. They have they have a hard time with it. I'm not saying it's easy.
Just make time to listen. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to scream, but nobody wants to listen. It's like just sit, just listen. Just listen to what they have to say.
And you really you do yourself a disservice if you're not willing to hear opposing ideas, because that means I am who I am. I believe what I believe, and I'm not willing to learn. Because in order to learn, you have to listen, right? So it's like, not only are you creating a barrier with this person, but you're inhibiting your own growth. Yeah. Like you can't grow if you're not willing to hear other people's ideas.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you're only hurting yourself. Well, that's not true. You're also hurting the rest of the world.
Yeah, you might end up hurting a lot of other people.
Yeah.
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 Or I guess I guess that's the same thing, and I'm just thinking of it oppositely. But if somebody was trying to tell me like you shouldn't support the LGBTQ community, and this is why I'd be like, okay, well, I don't agree with you, but like if you so choose to tell me that, then what is your reasoning behind it? I just wish people would be open to listening. It's like I said, like they just want. I don't know why I keep using that as an example. Like that's just the only thing I can think of off the top of my head of just like, I mean, a really big like division in America of like, it's just one example.
That is a big split right now.
But like it's just listen, I mean, I guess like a part of me who doesn't understand why people can't just support it or just support people being people, because it's like just let it be. Like you're gonna be you and they're gonna be them, and just let it be.
Yeah.
But like at least if like you so choose to like be loud about it, then then you have to listen.
Yeah.
Like you can't just blah 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 blah, but then not
Yeah, I obviously like I'm with you on this. I definitely lean on like more on one side than another on this particular topic.
Yes.
However, both sides have some points. Like in Canada, a thing that's going on is I think it's called Bill C-16, something like that, where it can be a hate crime, and people have actually had to pay fines for misgendering people. It's considered a hate crime, where it's like you're now it if you misgender someone, that's rude. That's wrong. Should it be illegal? I don't. I mean, if I'm mad at you, I'm gonna say way worse things than you to you than getting your gender wrong, right? It's like I can say way worse things than that.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm kind of confused. Are you talking about like if like a trans person like
Yeah. No, I mean,
that's illegal?
yeah, like if you said you wanted to be referred to as he, him, and I refused to acknowledge that, that's a crime.
I thought you meant like I was like Canada. I thought you meant
Canada,
wanting to be.
No.
Him. I was like, that doesn't sound like Canada.
They swung like so
Yeah.
politically correct that it's like a crime not to be politically correct.
Well, yeah,
It's like,
because then you
fuck
you can lose the hearing both sides part, and it's like the
someone wants to
education. It should start with education on it. It shouldn't be illegal. It should be like,
I mean,
now you learn about everything, and you should respect
right?
people
And then
and what
my
they
angry
want
self
for
is like,
themselves.
and at the end of the day, like, why can't like if that's just like if they want to be referred to as he, him, like I still just like can't even fathom why people can't just do that.
You know,
I'm like, just do that.
Everyone should like, do that.
You're just a human.
But should the government get involved? My answer is no, because the government ruins everything.
Oh, it should
they
have been
fucking
made
ruin
a law.
Yeah.
Like they made it a law where
if
you went by he, him, and I said called you she, that and refused.
Now you go to jail.
Then I get
now you get the electric chair.
That's a little intense.
It's a little much, right?
If that's one of those things that could snowball, you know.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
that's
problem. That can't go either way, or you will have.
Where I'm at is like, okay, for most of these kind of like being an asshole is already a crime. It's just not a legal crime. It's a social crime. Meaning, if you're an asshole going around like misgendering people or just being a dick in general, this is going to be socially policed. People are just going to stop hanging out with you.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
Well, and
we already have a solution for this that doesn't involve the government getting involved.
And like we've said, like you said, most people are inherently good. So if you just allow people to manage themselves, the right thing will happen eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the government, that's a slippery slope.
This stems from a greater feeling I have, which is that I fucking hate the government and they ruin everything. So if they cannot be involved, they shouldn't be. If we can just not have them involved with it and we can handle it ourselves, we should probably do it that way.
Yeah. It's because the government's supposed to be by the people who are the people, and it's supposed to serve us. But when you have to say they about the government instead of saying our government, then that's a problem in itself.
Yeah.
So we need to fix that first before we go
and I think
those kind of laws.
That's why we have all these like social issues of like the gender stuff, like the gender war of like men versus women is a big thing. Race war, like racism. All of these issues are created and put on people because the real issue is people versus the government. And that's the one thing we can't talk about. That's the one thing we're not allowed to talk about.
Wait, I totally also just had a realization. Then isn't like, because you said like the whole Canada and the law thing, but like, then I guess like why, and maybe like I'm just like thinking of this in a weird way, but like gay marriage, like couldn't like two men just get married? Like why did it have to be a law that like they could just get married? Or was
that's where the government's supposed to protect people.
But then why did it have to be a law? Like why couldn't two men just get married?
I think
Or
it's
was
a
it because it
religious
was
thing.
a church thing?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
in the church they can't.
Because
Or no, they can in the
technically
church.
marriage is a religious thing. I think it's under it's like it's a union under God. I think is how that started. So because of the church, I think is why that was a thing that had to be accepted into, like, that's why it was a thing with gay marriage, why there was a pushback on it because of the religious component.
So like that you can legally, like if you were 2 men or 2 women and you wanted to get married in a church, you could. And they couldn't say no.
Yeah, they had to fight for that. But yeah, it wasn't a thing.
Because I was like, why couldn't like 2 men or 2 women just get, like, why did it have to be a law that they could just, but I guess
because of the church. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
We want that.
Yeah. I think people should be able to do whatever the hell they want, and the
Mhm.
government should have nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Well, Travis, Maddie, this has been fun.
Yeah,
we
awesome.
went deep down the rabbit hole. I'd love to have y'all back sometime whenever you got another single coming out or something.
And we'll get Chance in here
Yeah,
too,
oh,
and
God.
have all 3 of us.
Chance has been at this table many times.
Yeah.
He is a rabbit hole regular. We love
rabbit
Chance.
hole regular. That's so cute.
Yeah, I love Chance. He's great.
Yeah.
And check out Catchfire. They're awesome. They rock and they roll pretty hard.
Love
Yeah.
one another.
Do that.
Yeah.
Or else.
Or else we're gonna write a song about it.
Yeah, that will do for sure.
Love. That's the takeaway.
And on that note, we'll see you next week, Alice.